Apple announced that they have one more thing, and that was when the biggest announcement of the day was made, and it came in the shape of a new headset, Apple's Vision Pro. We all knew that Apple was going to announce a mixed reality headset with both AR and VR capabilities. But throughout the event, it looked so much better than anything we could have hoped for. A big part of that comes down to Apple knowing how to carry out a great-looking and well-put-together event, but also, when we saw the applications of such a device coming to life. It was much better than expected. Seeing it in action as it did everything perfectly and Apple showing it all to us was simply great. So, for those of you who still don't really know what the headset is. Simply put, it is a computer you wear that is packed with cameras and sensors. And it has a display directly in front of your eyes. This computer can then be used to do almost anything that a normal computer can do since it is powered by the same chip that powers almost all other Macs, the M2. However, what makes this special is how it can present the information from that computer to you, the user. As soon as you put this headset on, everything around you becomes a canvas for your work. Your whole room is a big display allowing you to launch multiple apps beside each other, with each app getting a display size bigger than your current monitor or even TV. If you don't like your room, then, simply you can ask the headset to place you in a forest or on top of the moon. If you don't want to work on the headset itself, simply look at your Mac's display. And it will automatically be connected to the Mac and display all of its content. You will be impressed when you see it in action. You can game on it, watch movies in a cinema-like experience, or even FaceTime your friends and have them be in the same room. You could literally send an anatomically accurate 3D heart to a medical student friend of yours or sit in a room with dinosaurs roaming around. Apple started working on the headset project a decade ago. They acquired VR and AR companies as early as 2014. And they were working hard since they knew the scale of this project. Apple even changed certain important employees' focus so that they were only working on this project. They did not do all that for a single device that costs more than $3,000. Currently, anyone looking at this device can only perceive it as a device made for a fancy group of people with some money to spare, and currently, this is what it is. However, this won't be the case forever. This headset is part of a two-step long plan to change everything. If things go well, this could finally get rid of the traditional computers and phones that we have been used to for decades and replace them with fancier devices that we get to wear around that are going to be easier to interact with. The first step was to release a headset, but not any headset. Apple released one that does not require a connection to a computer to be powered. Instead, the device itself is a full-on computer and can stand alone. It runs on Vision OS, which Apple itself said in the announcement is made on top of years of research from a combination of iPadOS, macOS, and iOS. This means that the headset, in theory, could do everything that a Mac can do, and display it all as if you were working with multiple high-quality monitors at your disposal. The device can even be connected to your current Mac accessories for those who seek practicality. Now, comes a few problems that Apple needs to address. First of all, Apple's Vision Pro is still quite expensive, but the first gen of any device is expensive. Also, Apple needs to launch a few more versions that are suited for users with different demands. Apple currently launched one with an M2 chip, but with time, Apple might even launch more powerful chips like the Pro or Mac chips suited for those who need more power. This means that within a few years, users who are in the market for a Mac would start considering this as an alternative, and this is what Apple wants. The device is expensive, but it replaces not only your Mac but also your monitors and maybe even your TV. In a few years, when Apple is sure that this device works and has a market, and when they develop the tech so that it fits into a smaller package, then, Apple will release a second device that we have been hearing about for years now. The second device would be the Apple Glasses, or whatever fancy name Apple gives it. This would be something similar to what the headset is, but it comes in a smaller package that can be worn around with ease all day so that it can replace your iPhone. This would be a much bigger challenge since putting this much power in something that could be worn around all day is very difficult, and convincing people to replace their primary phones with it would be a challenge for sure. Nobody can tell as of right now where exactly Apple is heading for sure. A part of that comes down to Apple waiting for reviews and users' feedback. For example, if users really appreciated the headset, then this might be a big boost to Apple's confidence and them going at a faster pace through the plan. Maybe, Apple eventually does not go for it, but, personally, I think that ordinary devices surely are getting older and maybe users would appreciate a big change. If Apple plays its cards right, and the new glasses are a hit and as good as the new headset, then, Apple would have entered a completely untapped market with millions of potential new users. Everyone now has a smartphone and people are taking longer and longer to change their devices as they have become better and much more expensive to upgrade. However, not many users already own a mixed reality headset, which means tons of new potential users and money to be made. And Apple knows that. It would take years and years for this major change to happen, but we can only wait and see how things pan out.